Good morning, spaceman. Welcome to Space Operations Delta. Welcome to another episode of X4 Foundations. I'm your captain, I'm Captain Collins, and today we're going to talk about shields. All of them, which are the best, which should you buy? There are a few things we're going to talk about. We're talking about all the faction shields, and we're going to talk about all the classes, so from S to XL. And before we start, a very quick introduction to myself. I'm Captain Collins. I stream from Monday to Thursday at 7 PM Central European Time at twitch.tv/CaptainCollins. If you want to help that more people see this video and get more knowledge about shields, then please click that like button down there. Thank you so much. And as always, we're jumping right into the game and have a look at how shields working in this game. Please don't look at this guy, he's just under attack. So we're starting by talking about all the faction shields compared to each other, and then we're going a little bit more into detail about a few types of shields like S&M shields, because they are a little bit different than all the others. And to give you a first view of what we're talking about, we're going into the encyclopedia. This is where we're gonna be for today. We're going into the equipment shield generators, and there we have the list of all the shield generators in the game. And we're starting with the comparison of all the factions. We're gonna start with the Tiladi ones because that's a good starting point. We're starting with the XL shields because the XL shields will give you the best comparison about each faction. The Tiladis have the best shields when you look at the maximum shield capacity. This is their most characteristic stat in this game, so all across the shields. And we're comparing here, so Tiladi XL against something else XL. If I compare shields in here, we're always talking about the same type of shields. So for example, S Mark II, you can compare every single S Mark II shield in this way. For every single faction, it works the same way. And with Tiladi, you have the highest maximum shield capacity all over all shields. But this is not the only stat that's maybe important for your decision on which shield to buy, and that's why we jump to the next shield, which is the Split XL shield. A Split in general have the most maximum hull integrity, which sounds a little bit unuseful, and at the end of the day, it is unuseful. So Split does have an unimportant stat. And all the other things for Split, like maximum shield capacity and shield recharge rate, are the lowest of all. From here on, we go to the next one, to the Paranit XL shields. So Paranit overall do have the highest shield recharge rate. This is important in some cases. So if you have a high recharge rate, for example, in your XL shield, that will give you a better recharge if you just get poked by, for example, small ships, or maybe sometimes also medium ships. So if you have encounters with just a small group of S-class ships or M-class ships, you have the best recharge rate and your shield does not get down so fast, and you're recharging faster than all the other shields. You get a little bit less maximum shield capacity. If you take a look at the Tiladi shield, you're losing quite a lot, but this lowers itself when you go down the shields, like to M shields or S shields, which you also should consider. These shields are not only on ships and flying around, but these shields are also on stations. We will be talking about this more, about L-class and M-class shields, which are also on stations. The last one we're going to talk about is the Argon Shield, and the Argon Shield is just medium in every single stat. Although it has got the same max hull integrity as all the others, it has got a medium shield capacity and also a medium shield recharge rate. Although I would say the recharge rate is a little bit higher than the standard recharge rate of the others. So you could consider Argon Shields as the little bit better Paranit shields, because they still have a high recharge rate, not as high as Paranit, but they have a lot more shield capacity as the Paranit ones. So you could consider Argon the best shields, a part of Tiladi shields in overall use. So right now we talked about XL shields. Let's take a step down and go to the L shields. Everything I just said also applies to all the L shield generators if you compare Mark 1 against each other and Mark 2 against each other. But what I want to point out is the shield recharge delay, which is 0 seconds on XL and L class shields. So So you have absolutely no recharge delay. So that's why the shield recharge rate is a considerable stat for your shield, because it starts immediately after being shot to recharge. And that way you could consider that Argon is a little bit better than Tiladi, because the Tiladi are not recharging that fast as the Argon, or for example the Paranid one. If we go one step down to the M-class shields, we're starting with the Argon M-class shields. You start to get a shield recharge delay, and the shield recharge delay for M-class shields is, I would say, not a decision point for any of these, because we're talking about stats that starts at 0.36 seconds for the split M shields, and it goes up to 0.57 seconds of the Tiladi shields. So this is a time where you could just say it's absolutely unnecessary that they even put it in there. As I said, all the other stats still apply on every single faction shield, also in M class. But now it starts to get really interesting in the S-class shields, and we're talking about S-class fighters, so your fighter squads. If you start to look at the S-class shields, you see that the shield recharge delay gets an amount of time which is a considerable decision maker for your decision which kind of shield you should buy. And in S-class shields, we're also not talking about the really high maximum shield capacity differences in here. So we're starting to look at the Argon S-class shields, because I want to dive into the S-class shields a little bit more. And we're starting here with a delay of 12.1 seconds and with a maximum shield capacity of 1411, which is a medium amount of everything, but I would say a little bit higher than medium. So it doesn't exceed in any stat, but it also is not as low as the others. Argon shields in this case are really a jack of all trades, so you can take Argon shields basically every single time when you're not decided on what to do. And from here on, we're going to the Paranid S shield generator. I'm talking here about Mark III, keep that in mind. We got a shield recharge delay of 10.2 seconds. And to give you a glimpse, the shield recharge delay we're talking about stays the same. Just the recharge rate and the maximum shield capacity of course changes, because the Mark III is better than the Mark I. This is how it works. You could say that the processing power of these shields, so when they start to recharge, the shields are the same. And we're looking at 10.2. Like I said, we have a 1270 shield capacity, which is lower than the Argon, but the recharge delay is a little bit better than the Argon one. So it starts 2 seconds earlier to recharge, and it has got, as I said, with all the other factions, at the highest recharge rate of all shields. Next one is the split S shield generator, and now it gets interesting because the shield recharge delay with 8.9 seconds is more than 3 seconds faster than the Argon one. 3 seconds can decide if you get shot with the last shot, so you just get destroyed, or maybe you have a little bit more shields in your back pocket to stay in the fight. Or also if you have a lot of S-class fighters flying around and they get shot here and there, they do not have the continuous damage on one single ship, your shields get recharged faster, and maybe you get out of this fight without even having hull damaged ships at all. So this is a thing you could consider, and the split S ships really surprised me in this way. Of course, you have the maximum shield capacity, which is lower than any other shield, but we're talking about hundreds of megajoules, not anything else. And the shield recharge rate is of course the lowest, but as I said, the delay is also the lowest. So it starts to build up the shield very fast. Let's take a look at the Tiladi S shield here in comparison, because the Tiladi with the maximum shield capacity, which is the highest, has got 352 more megajoule than the split one, but the shield recharge delay is 5 seconds longer than the split one. So the split one has got 5 seconds for recharge, and if you calculate that, the split shield already did about 850 megajoules before the Tiladi split even started to recharge. Now the Tiladi shield need to make up for the difference you already have when the split shield already started. started to recharge, then the Tiladi Shield recharging more, but 5 seconds later. So this is very interesting. If you ask me, you have a good shield for M and above with Argon Shields for overall use, but you also have a very good maximum shield capacity with the Tiladi Shields overall, which is good if you're taking XL shields into consideration, because we're talking about 10,000s of megajoule. That's of course something you want to have in mind. And you also have a 0-second recharge delay. That way you're definitely starting to recharge, and the amount of shield you get over time while being shot, I mean, you have to consider that while you're being shot you also recharge, and this will maximize your shield way more than just the maximum amount of shield. Let's say you have 200k shields and you shoot down this 200k shields, but you build up in this time, let's say 50,000 shield, and you have a maximum shield capacity of 250,000. Okay, but if you have a 150,000 shield and you shoot it down and you build up, in this case 120,000 back, you have a overall capacity of 270,000, which is more than the one with the maximum shield capacity at the start. So think about that. You have to consider that too, not only the one single number you see at the start, but the overall shield you get while also recharging in a fight. So the maximum shield capacity can be more than just the number you're starting with. And as I said, the split S shields are a surprise in all means. The recharge delay against a Tiladi Shield, which is the difference of 5 seconds, makes so much impact in a fight that I would consider split S shields are maybe the best ones in the game. And with this, make your math, try to get the best shields you can, and have fun playing X4. Thank you, I'm out, I'm Captain Collins. See you on stream, bye.